Hi, Patric here. Welcome to the affiliates.com.my virtual summit. I'm so excited to have you here. This is the first time I'm actually doing a virtual summit, so I want to officially welcome you and congratulate you to be here, to be in this training right now. So the next thing I want to share with you is that, as you can see, this setup, it is not a fancy studio. This is not a studio. This is a wall. This is some banner that you can print for not too sure, maybe $100 or something like that. And this is some normal whiteboard. And then just put some of my awesome awards to tell you how awesome, how kick-ass I am, and just to display, because they say that you should display all these cool awards that you have. That's what they say, right? So as you can see, not a fancy studio, and this is just a space in my office. And you may be wondering, why is it so? Why didn't I go and rent a studio, make it fancy with all the lightings and so on? The reason is because the methodology of how I teach. I teach my students to achieve success by showing to them something that is realistic, by showing to them how they can achieve success through my demonstration. So when I teach, I show to them that, hey, if I can use this to achieve success, it means that you can achieve success as well. What's the point of showing you something that most people cannot achieve? So my whole concept is when I teach my students, I teach them how to model proven models in that sense. So if you know who's Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, do you know Gary V? So I love Gary's content, amazing content, right? So if you see his videos and so on, you see, my gosh, I wish I can do like what Gary is doing, because it is very, very impressive, right? But do you know that Gary has like maybe 30 full-time staff or employees or team to do all the Gary V's content, syndication, publication, editing, and everything else? So just try to think this, right? Imagine if you want to do like what he does. That's going to be quite a stretch in that sense. So you may say, but never mind, I can just do a small portion of what he does. So then you're going to do a splinter of what Gary is doing. Now, I think that's going to be quite a long way for you to become an internet millionaire and even maybe hitting a six-figure income. So I want to teach you something that you can apply and use in your business, right? And do you understand where I'm coming from in that perspective? All right. So now, the first thing that we want to think about is that how can we get started on the right track during this current challenging time? I would say it is no argument that we are facing a time of challenge in a very unique way that no one is actually prepared. I mean, it just sort of caught us not ready. But at the same time, these past 12 months has allowed us to learn so much. Now, there are mainly three key things, or should I say three types of trends, that if you are involved in these three trends, then your business should be well. If you are not, then you may want to consider to explore this, right? The first one is that is the nature of your business. It's an online business. Now, what do I mean, right? So let's take an example of the cinema business, the theater business. So AMC Theater is if I'm not mistaken, is I think the largest cinema chain in the United States, right? And they have suffered dramatic loss, hundreds of millions of dollars. But then another business which serves the same crowd as in like showing movies called Netflix is doing so well and generated billions in return, right? Now, the difference is this. One, it's an offline business, as in like how the product is being fulfilled, it's offline. The other one, Netflix, is an online business, meaning you consume the product online. The product is not an offline product. So I want you to look into your business right now. I want you to see, is your business online or offline? And if you have an offline business, can you find ways to make it online in that sense? So that's the first thing that I want you to keep that in mind, right? The second thing is that is the business e-commerce driven. So what is e-commerce? When we hear the word e-commerce, we think of all these e-commerce stores, right? Like Shopify, e-commerce stores, Lazada, Amazon, and so on. But I want you to look at e-commerce from a different perspective. E-commerce is none other than online transactions, meaning that are you selling online? Are you using the internet to sell instead of just offline? So if you are a business owner, right, you sell offline. You sell clothes on offline. You could sell anything offline. Clothes, specs, uh, uh, whatever, right? So are you now selling online? So that's the definition of e-commerce. And we all know how e-commerce has become like the number one priority right now. Because if you are in, say, in this region, Malaysia, Singapore, or even Thailand, right, you will see that even people are using e-commerce to buy food right now. You see that? Have you ordered food from your mobile phone? Like you call food delivery. It could be a restaurant food. It could be a hawker food. Have you done that? Yeah, so we do that. So do you know that that is called e-commerce right now, right? That is e-commerce. And if you are going to start a business, I would suggest that you want to take this opportunity to learn how to start selling products on the internet. And what is like the third trend that will skyrocket or build a business successfully? So the first one is that, is it an online business? As in like, is the product being fulfilled over the internet, right? The second one, is it e-commerce? As in like, is it sold through the internet? Like, are you collecting payments on the internet? To show to you the proof is you can just see at Amazon. Because of Amazon's success, Jeff Bezos is like the richest billionaire in the world. Maybe second, sometimes, sometimes Elon Musk beats him, but you know what I mean. It's either number one or number two, right? And the third one is this. Are you riding on the virtual trend? So virtual / e-learning. So if you are in that nature of business, chances are you're prospering. Virtual, and this is virtual right now, so we need to pivot. So like for instance, our summit, it's usually an offline summit, right? But we realized that, hey, we can't wait anymore. This pandemic, it is not ending anytime soon. So if you want to wait for it to like 100% disappear, it's going to be years. So we need to pivot and make it virtual right now. So that's the first thing. And are you in the e-learning trend? Because even the schools are now going through e-learning. Like I'm a parent, this is my tab. But if you open up my tab, you will see a lot of little fingerprints, right? And it's because this became their tab to attend classes right now. Can you imagine that? So kids are now attending online classes, whether it's private schools, whether it is government school, and so on. So do you see where I'm coming from, right? The world has changed. So let me just do a quick recap in case that you missed what I just shared with you. The first one is that, is your business online business? Is your product being fulfilled on the internet? Second, are you selling online? Is it e-commerce driven? Now, I'm not saying that it has to be a store. I'm not saying that you want to open a store. I'm saying, is it e-commerce? Like even a hawker is turning the business e-commerce. The restaurant is turning the business e-commerce by allowing people to place order on the internet. And then the third one, is it virtual? Like, are you using virtual platform to do business? So let's say if you do insurance, let's say you are involved in network marketing, right? Now, how do you do business as an insurance agent or network marketing? You need to meet people over coffee, over tea, the usual process and so on, right? Now, imagine this, if you don't use virtual right now, how are you going to continue building the business, right? So these are three things. I want you to write down the notes here, all right? So now, a lot of things that I'm teaching you right now in this morning session doesn't really have slides. Is simply because whatever I'm teaching you It is based on my experience that I have over the years, over the past 17 years, and the knowledge that I already have locked inside here. So I don't really need slides, but I'll be sharing slides with you in the future, like in not in the future, as in like in the evening session, so that it's clearer for you. But I don't really need slides in that sense, because what I'm teaching you is all intuitive. It's already in me. This is what we do, right? So I want to talk about income certainty. Now, when I use the word called income certainty, I want to ask you a question, right? When you hear income certainty, how do you feel? Do you feel happy? Now, when I say income certainty, if you have income certainty, do you feel happy? Just feel that, like, if you have income certainty, do you feel happy? Do you feel relief? Like if you have income certainty, like every month, there's income coming in, do you feel relief? Happy would means, I'm really happy, I got income coming in, right? Relief means, I'm not too worried about the bills, I know that every month I have money. When you hear the word income certainty, you feel adventurous, right? Adventurous, as in like, now I know I got money, I can try different stuff, I can do different things, I can, lack of a better word, I can take risks, I can do more stuff right now. Adventurous, okay? Now, which one would be a priority? Like, which one would you feel? Happy, relief, or adventurous? There's no right or wrong. Nobody's judging you whatsoever. Yes, for all right, that's fine, that's fair. If you want to have all, who doesn't want to have all? My kids will say, if I ask, do you want this or that? My kids will say, I want all, right? Any of you feel nothing? Like if you share the word income certainty, you feel nothing, like nothing at all. So now, here's the thing. If you feel nothing, I got good news for you at the same time. Like for me, when it comes to income certainty, I feel nothing. And if you feel nothing, to a certain degree, you're in good shape because you don't need income certainty. So the first thing that we want to look at, that we want to build our business, that we need to reach the level of income certainty, that we are certain about the income that we can make, then we go for growth. So we cannot go for growth if we don't have income certainty yet. You see where I'm coming from? So when people want to make money online, they think of growth. They don't think about income certainty. Like I have my private mentoring client program called the Ultimatum. So one of the clients that I accept this year, or should I say last year, now it's 2021, right? 2020, his name is his Ace. So Ace came to me and then says, so what's your goal like? So he says you want to make an extra $500,000, 500,000 to be more precise. So if you average that out, that would be like 50,000 a month. So I says, yeah, that's possible, but I need to know, are you already making money right now? Are you having a business that's already generating income for you? Now, I can't tell you how much it makes because it's private and confidential. Then you tell me this is what I'm doing and so on. Then I says, oh, that's great. Now, if you are being mentored, I think that you can make $500,000. And of course, he has done that. I can't tell how much he makes. But it was not a challenge for him to make an extra $500,000 in that year, right? Because he is going for the growth. He is not going for income certainty. Now, this is very important because I want you to understand this carefully because I do not know which part that you're at. You see, when people think about making money online, can I sort of generalize? The first thing that they come to their mind, they always say that I want to make 10,000 a month. Is that right? Like I want to make 10K a month. That's like my ideal number. I want to make 10K a month, right? So why in the world would they say 10K a month? So they say 10K a month. It's all these gurus, right? Been telling them, hey, I have a course, I have a system to show how to make 10K a month. You see that? And when they hear that repeatedly, 10K, 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 and they sort of feel, yeah, 10K is like the minimum of 5 figure. And it looks like a nice number, 10. So, I want to make 10K a month, right? But realistically, do you know how much is 10K a month is? So I do not know which country you are from. So let's just take US dollar as a ballpark number. Or if you are in Malaysia, it will be ringgit. If you're Singapore, it's Singapore dollar and so on. Now, who makes 10K a month? Probably like in Penang here, probably someone who is a senior engineer with a multinational company, or maybe a manager, or a very senior programmer, not the junior programmer. And that took them like many, many, many years to even achieve 10K a month. And we did not even include the years of study that they have gone through. Like they go through university, spend like 3 years. I don't really know because I didn't go to university. I'm not saying that to be funny, it's actually very sad. But the point I'm trying to say is that they spend like a lot of resources, a lot of money and so on to really make 10K a month. But here we have people running around and say, I want to make 10K a month. Do you know how hard it is to actually make 10K a month from zero? But it's really easy to make 10K a month if you're already making 2K a month, 3K a month, 4K a month, 5K a month, because you already have income certainty. So there's a mismatch. And when there's a mismatch, people fail to generate income because they want to achieve this goal here, but they are not ready to pay the price to hit this goal here because, hey, making 10K a month is actually not little if you compare it to that amount in the real world. Again, I do not know why people like to label the online is like a fake world. Like, this online here, it's really easy to make money. It is not that true unless you are already making money. You see where I'm coming from? So what is the realistic goal in that context? A realistic goal, I'll tell you, is $1,000 US. So if you start from zero or you are making less than $1,000 US, my challenge to you is to say, hey, you know what? I want to make $1,000 US. Now, why $1,000 US? Because it is achievable. Now, why is it achievable? Scientifically, and that has nothing to do with motivational stuff. Saying I want to make 10K a month is motivational stuff. And for someone who is unaware of how to do all this internet marketing stuff, to be honest, it's going to be very challenging for that person, and he's going to be disappointed because he needs to put in like a lot of effort. So 1K a month, it's definitely achievable because of this. If you break it down, how much 1K a month is per day? That is just about $33 per day. Now, how do you define $33? Now, $33 per day is really as little as maybe selling an ebook a day, promoting some affiliate program to make $33 per day, or having some e-commerce store to sell a few cups, a few t-shirts, a few merchandise, and so on. So you see, $33 per day is equivalent to as little as just maybe 2 sales a day. Now, it's not that hard to make 2 sales a day. Do you agree with me? Yes. Making 2 sales a day or 1 sale a day, it is not hard. And if you have a different blueprint where you actually make more than $33 per sale, guess what? You don't even need to have a sale a day. You could have maybe 10 sales, $100 per sale, 10 sales, and you make $1,000 per month. Now, wouldn't that be so much more easier to achieve? And achieving something than achieving nothing. Because 0 times whatever amount, it is still 0. So if you have the 1,000, then yes, and now I can show you how to make $10,000. I can show you how to go 10x. But before that, we start from $1,000. Cool? Does that make sense? It makes sense, yeah? Okay. So if you go through my training is all about achieving goals, realistic, and then go to the next level. That's none of those silly, funny hypes. None of those. I'm not here to tell you, hey, you're gonna make 10K next month, in the next 5 days, and so on. Unless you are ace, right? Then that's a whole different thing. Unless you have something going on, then of course, no problem at all. I can show you how to make 10K like tomorrow, for that matter, right? Okay. So that's that, right? So that's what I want to share with you. So today we'll start more on income certainty in terms of my training, right? I'll share with you how we build business for the past 12 months. What is the discovery we found? I want to share with you some strategies, right? And tomorrow I'm going to share with you how to thrive, how to pivot, how to grow. Exciting, yes? All right. All right, now it's called the fourth industrial revolution. You know what? I think I'm going to use the whiteboard here. So let's going to do that right now. Let's going to switch my camera here a while. Let's go and switch, move it a bit. Okay, so it switched a bit. So I'm gonna pull this here. Okay, I can see that how low tech my stuff is. Can you imagine this? Whiteboard, nothing fancy, no electronic stuff. Can you do this? Seriously, right? No fancy stuff. Whiteboard. You can get it in anywhere. You probably can get it in Lazada or something like that. Okay. All right. So the thing here is that it's not about being fancy. It is all about the value that you deliver. So whatever that I teach, whatever that I do, there are lessons in it. There's a reason why I do certain things. I'm not doing this like for fun. I just want you to understand how you can focus on delivering the value. It's all about the end result that you give to customers. It is not about sugarcoating it. It is not about showing you have some fancy stuff. No, they just want what you have. So we'll talk about the fourth industrial revolution. Can you see that? Okay. The fourth industrial revolution actually started way back in 2016, but it is something that caught my attention a lot right now, especially with the advancement of technology. So what is the fourth industrial revolution? Before we understand that, we got to understand what is the first, second, and third industrial revolution. The first one is steam, S-T-E-A-M. Don't think anything different. It's S-T-A-M, water, right? So that's where we have the agriculture, where they use steam to power a lot of agriculture, right? After the first industrial revolution, which is steam, the second industrial revolution, it is electricity. That is where we have telegraph, electricity, right? That's where you have lights and all this kind of stuff. And the third industrial revolution, it is computing. That's where we have computer, where you can process things, right? So those are our first three industry. And right now we are going to the fourth industrial revolution. And the interesting part is that this just got started to a certain degree. I mean, it's introduced in 2016, which means that everyone is somehow on the same stage, right? We're not like behind. Everybody is competing at the same starting point, right? And what is this fourth industrial revolution is about? Okay, let me just give you some idea. Right now, when we reach this year, we are now going into advanced computing. So some of the key concept that is applying this right now, it is, I'm going to name names that you're familiar with, okay? 5G, you know that, right? It's not too advanced anymore, 5G technology. IoT, Internet of Things, where a lot of devices, Alexa, Siri, and all this, they are powering your house. So in US, Alexa, it's very famous. You use that to power things. And as advancements go more advanced, there's this idea that the refrigerator can be using IoT, which means that when the food is becoming less, then it automatically places order for you, right? And then there is AI. Oh boy, everybody talks about AI, they are like some expert about AI. And marketers, they talk of AI as if that they have an AI product, all the sales letter and so on, right? So AI, machine learning, those are all fourth industrial revolution. So those are all very common things. Oh, blockchain, that is the fourth industrial revolution, so blockchain. So into the future, you see a lot of technology uses blockchain for that. But there are more advanced stuff than this that you may have not heard of, right? Because these are what generally you hear. Quantum computing, it is where the processor can process 1,000,000 times faster than your ordinary MacBook Pro. I'm using this MacBook stuff, so I'm just talking of that, right? Quantum computing. Biotech. So stem cell breakthrough. You probably are aware of this, or you may not. Do you know that stem cell treatment is already around right now? That you can go to like a clinic and they should have that service, and the price is becoming cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Not in any negative way. The reason is simply because that more people are stepping in, and the market starts to accept stem cell treatment. Now, I don't use that, right? But you have heard of rumors of people using that. But there are people who are actually using that. It could cost you as little as 50,000 to as much as 100,000 over. So what they do is that they take stem cell and they inject it into your body, and then production of stem cell so that you have new cells from your body, right? So then there's gene, I can't remember the exact word that you geno something like that, where there's research of genes, right? So those are all fourth industrial revolution. So seriously, if you realize what is actually happening right now, the stuff that we're still doing the old ways, we won't be able to compete in the marketplace anymore. Seriously, it's really outdated to a certain degree. And because of the fourth industrial revolution, I think what I've been teaching every year, called the three trends, is becoming more and more and more obvious. That these predictions that I always say in my summit every year, it gets truer than this. Now, what are these three trends? These three key trends that I want you to learn today, because I think that it's going to help you to build the business strategically, not tactically. So the first one is called transparency. The first trend that's happening right now and is becoming more obvious than ever is called transparency. Now, what is transparency? Transparency is where the internet cannot contain secrets anymore. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, when I do internet marketing, they don't call it digital marketing that time. At 2004, someone could come up with a new idea and put it together in an ebook and say, hey, I got this secret, right? This secret to teeth whitening, this secret to six-pack abs, this secret to becoming rich and so on, right? And it will sell like crazy because it is not that transparent yet. It seems as if that you are the only person who have this so-called secret formula. Today, it is all transparent on the internet. There's no more secrets to be hidden. Do you understand that, right? What I'm trying to tell you is this, is that there's no way how you can manipulate your customers. There's no way how you can be tactical because they are a browser away to find out everything. So the way how you conduct business has to drastically transform and focus on being the real deal, being genuine. Because in times like this, if you did not do that, right? I mean, you've seen some marketers, right, where they will sell hypes and so on. You can only cheat the customer once. There's no second time. Just look at the whole keyboard warrior thing, right? Trust me, you can just search for that person and everything will just show up. So there's no way how people cannot do research on you anymore. In another word, if you want to be in the game for long term, the only way for you to succeed, it is to make sure to deliver what you promise and be genuine. You cannot hype anymore. It just won't work. I'm not just saying about this internet marketing industry, in any industry, it won't work. Whether it's real estate, whatever it is, it just won't work because they can just do their own research just like that. See that? If you do a Google for me, now I'm saying this with pride, not with ego, right? You cannot find a negative review despite I've been doing this for past 17 years. And every year I do a seminar, I do a summit. Why I bring this up is this, is that if you do something wrong, people will just go to the internet, to the forums and start telling the truth. You cannot hide that anymore. The reason why if you see any negative comments or negative things, reviews on me on the internet is because my brand, it is that famous and other people use that as a clickbait so that they can get free traffic. But you will never find, say, a post in forums to discuss about Patric Chan negatively. There's none. So any negative reviews that you ever see on the internet, it is always with an agenda so that they can sell you something that they have to sell. It's like this, okay, say Patric bad so that I can sell my stuff. You see what I mean, right? So that's where you see all the negative reviews and there's no way how we can do that. But other than that, there's nothing, right? How am I able to be in this business for 17 years? And it's not like I disappear, like every year you still see me. It's because I understand this formula called being transparent. Okay, that's the first thing that I want to share with you. The second thing that the trend is, it's important more than ever, is called speed. So there are three types of speed that you want to acquire. The first one is called speed of learning. Speed of learning means how fast can you learn? So there's a reason why you are here, right? Because you somehow understand this subconsciously. You see, whatever I'm going to share with you, the truth is that if you want to spend time to go to forums, to go to YouTube and watch all those videos and filter yourself and guess whether, hey, this work or not, it could take you weeks or even months and you may find the answer. I'm not saying, because it's transparent, right? Whatever I'm teaching, it's transparent. Someone may have thought of this and shared, maybe in YouTube or in forum and so on. See that, right? But that will be really slow. Instead, speed of learning, 2 days, total immersion. I learn right now, I get it. So I don't have to wait. I don't have to filter the content and I don't have to so-called to confirm whether these things are correct or not, right? Once you have speed of learning, the second speed is called speed of execution, speed of implementation. So you learn all this, right? Right now you learn all this. You have this on your table right now. So the next thing, how fast can you take this, the thing that you have learned, and go into the marketplace and start doing? That's called speed of implementation. How fast can you actually do it? I have a customer, his name is Raja Kamil. You heard of Raja Kamil? That guy, he learns stuff, he do it. The very next day, he makes money. You see how crazy is that? He literally sent me like testimonial and say, hey, Sifu, I've just learned this, and yes, yesterday you teach this, and today I apply, and the next day I got results. That's how fast that guy takes action, right? So are you an action taker? Do you take action based on the knowledge that I teach you, based on these 2 days coaching that I'm sharing with you? Because I commit my 2 days for you. These 2 days, I'm your friend, I'm your coach, I'm your teacher. These 2 days, I'll do my best to deliver that to you. After these 2 days, we're still friends, of course, right? If we met up, we still have coffee and so on. But I have no obligation to be your teacher anymore. Like these 2 days, I will give my time for you. These 2 days. So how fast can you take action to achieve success? And then the third speed is called speed of celebration. So once you achieve success, you learn fast, you take action fast, and then now you need to celebrate your wins. You got to celebrate your success. How fast are you to celebrate your success? Or are you a person who, make some money and then you don't celebrate? You have to celebrate. Why? Because when you celebrate, you reinforce your mind at subconscious level that whatever that you're doing is correct. Whatever that you're doing is correct. Whatever that you're doing is proven. whatever that you're doing is making money. You don't celebrate, it doesn't become real. When it doesn't become real, guess what happened? It becomes domino effect. You stop learning, you stop taking action, right? Celebrate your wins. Now, if you were to celebrate your wins, let's take the $1,000 right now, for example. Let's play all out. Let's say, assuming that you haven't made $1,000 yet, let's say, if you made your first $1,000, right? What are you going to spend on? What are you going to buy? What are you going to spend? Tell me. Yes, spend. What are you going to buy? Buy more of Patric's cars. Very good. You can definitely do that, right? Travel, invest in further learning, buy dinner with family, explore the world. New phone, I like that. I like that. Supplements, stocks, travel, and new course for growth. Reinvest in other assets. Pivot, investments. Yes, settle all debts, right? High-speed computer, Kindle, revisit old haunts, help people in need. Clarks, right? Nice, good taste. Invest in more learning, buy anything I want. That's good, but what would you buy? You see, if you can focus on that right now, if we just do this simple exercise, I think it will set the right path for the next 2 days. Let's just put one little thing, small achievement, Clark shoes, right? I can do that, Clark shoes, 500 ringgit, let's say, right? 500. $1,000, I can buy Clark shoes. Okay, great. Thank you so much for this. Thank you for all the feedbacks. And what is the third thing that I want to share with you? The second thing and the third thing is called options. Not stock options. These are the three biggest trends that's happening, and you should be building your business with this in mind. This is all non-tactical. I build my business by being strategic, and that's how you be in the game for long term, right? So what is options? Today, customer have 1,000 different choice whether they should buy from you or buy from someone else. Do you know how crazy is that? The options to do business with you, they have so many options, so many choice that is ridiculous. You go to Amazon and you want to buy something. Whatever thing that you want to buy, I'm guessing the front page, you have 50 other products that looks alike for you to choose from. Do you know how bizarre that is? Do you understand that the customer have so many options today that they can choose not to do business with you? Gone are the days that you are the only person who can serve the market. Today, you need to be very different. I'll come to that shortly. So how is this affecting you? Well, this is affecting you very much. And amazingly, if you understand this, if you're aware of this, this is going to help you to make even more and attract all the customers to you. So here's the fact, right? Let's do a reality check. The reality check is that right now, there's so many other virtual summits. My gosh, in fact, there are free virtual summits. And my gosh, I have 2 days, they have 5 days. Or they have 3 days and they're free. And instead of 6 experts, they have like a dozen presenters, right? Free, more days, more speakers. And yet you are here with me and you pay $29 or even higher to be in this. Now, how is that? It doesn't even make sense when there are free virtual summits providing more days, providing more speakers, and here I am selling my virtual summit instead of giving away for free. You see the differences? So people have options to go for whatever they want. And it doesn't mean that you need to be among them. It doesn't mean that because they're doing free, you have to do free. It doesn't mean that they have more speakers, you have to have more speakers. It doesn't mean that. And of course, I'm just giving you my example, but your business could be anything. Because it's all about the value that you deliver. But to be more precise, the reason why you pay, it is basically, you know in your heart, it is to protect your time. It's to protect you from wasting time. Because if you know that that is like a free stuff, I'm not saying all are bad. I'm not saying that, don't get me wrong, right? Some are really good content because any free summits or workshop or webinars, I'm pretty sure that if you have a positive mindset, there will always be something for you to learn. It's impossible for you to learn nothing. It is just how your mindset works, right? But you know that, okay, if I can pay and make sure that I have good quality, that's going to save my time, and that is even more valuable. So where is the value? It's just like if you go and see a doctor, a surgeon, and you have two surgeons. One surgeon says, I'll operate you for $500. The other person says, I'll operate you for $10,000. And funnily, you will prefer to pay $10,000 to that surgeon than the one that charged you for $500. Because you know the amount of work involved is so much work. And if that surgeon is only taking $500, and that person cannot be profitable, this is going to be really bad. I wouldn't want someone who cannot get what they want in terms of the business to operate my body. You see that? So the way how you differentiate yourself from the customers, from the competitors, not from the customers. You want customers, you're not doing that. It's called UVP. The old saying is called USP. Okay, USP stands for unique selling proposition. UVP stands for unique value propositions, right? My business focus on UVP and it's never on USP. USP, unique selling proposition, means how well can you sell to your customers. You win the game by being able to convince them to buy from you. That is the whole mentality of selling, how you can be a better seller in that sense, right? UVP is unique value proposition. How much value you can give to your customers. Now, which one do you think will help you to build a long-term business? Which one do you think will help you to attract the right customers? UVP. Because you want to have intelligent customers. You want to have educated customers. You don't want to have customers who just buy on impulse. You don't want to be a good salesperson. Yes, you can get more customers, but that doesn't really drive your business to a whole next level where it can be long-term. So it's UVP. So my simple concept is that whatever that I sell, in my education business, I just want to make sure it's 10x the value. So if let's say you invest $29, I got to make sure that I deliver at least a $290 value content. Anything below that, to me, I got to kick myself. It's like I'm not delivering that. So if they spend $10,000, I got to deliver $100,000 value in return. So in your product, whatever product that you're selling, right, can you 10x the value for what they're buying for? Whether it's pen or anything and so forth. I want you to think about that for a while. I also want you to think about you are being here. What makes you here compared to spending $10 on a cheap virtual summit or even a free virtual summit? Why are you here? I want you to think about it. Why are you here? As compared to their free virtual summits. And I'm competing with other industry at the same time. Because for you to achieve freedom, for you to achieve passive income, it doesn't has to be just internet business. It could be cryptocurrency, it could be real estate, it could be all of those. So this is the three things that you want to make sure that you have in order for you to build a business going forward from here, right? I want to share a few slides right now. So I want to share with you the secret to working less and earning more, all right? So if you were to master these two, which I will cover one and I'll cover another one later on, okay? The first secret that I want to share with you, there are only two things that will actually help you to work less and earn more. The first thing is that you want to focus on your brand. Brand is everything, not brand as in like you want to be a brand that is known all around the world. But the brand concept here is the brand in your own industry. So to crystallize how valuable is a brand is this, okay? I want to ask you, who is your favorite say, motivational guru, just like those who teach you about success, motivation, Tony Robbins, okay? Simon Sinek, okay? Brian Tracy, Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, Jack Ma, Tony Robbins, okay? All right, so let's say Tony Robbins, right? So there are two people who are trying to sell a book. So one is a guy, an expert internet marketer who can write really good sales letter. And he write a really good sales letter, tell you how awesome this motivational book is. It's going to change your life and give you like many bonuses, like really, really impressive bonuses, video courses, 4 weeks follow-up and so on. But this internet marketer has no name. Nobody knows who is he. And then Tony Robbins just put up a page and make a tweet and says, my book is ready and this is my latest book and you can go and buy, right? So this internet marketer who worked so hard trying to tell you how good is his book, right? And Tony Robbins didn't even do any work except for putting a simple page to tell you a summary of what is this about and just tweet about it. Now, guess what, right? Whose book you buy? The internet marketer's book or Tony Robbins' book? If your favorite motivational guru is Tony Robbins. Now, of course, this is the situation that you trust Tony Robbins because he's your favorite. Do you see where I'm coming from? Do you see that? One person worked extremely hard trying to be the best copywriter in the world. Well, this person doesn't need to write that much. And he just need to say, hey, I got a book and you can go and buy my book. You see the difference? You see, the catch-22 here is that catch-22, not catch-22. It's not that, okay? Catch-22 is the term where it means that this comes first or this comes first. The reason why people don't build their brand is because it's a slower process, which means that they are focusing on how to become a better copywriter. They're focusing on having better bonuses instead of focusing on the brand. But if you build the brand, you don't even need to bother about all of this anymore. That's what catch-22 is. So if you have a brand, the fact is that you don't need to work that hard anymore. Do you see that? I was able to have this virtual summit, so-called relatively filled up. It is mostly because of a brand. But the interesting part is that why having a brand will actually help you to make more is simply because when you have a brand, you have trust. When you have trust, people are willing to invest with you or to start a business relationship with you. You see where I'm coming from? Right. So when you have a brand, it also helps you to take away trolls. Let me explain to you what I mean, right? This is the fun part, okay? So I was scrolling my Facebook and I saw this post by Daily Mail Australia. And they post, Keanu Reeves is keeping it real. So Keanu Reeves sports a graying beard as he rides his motorcycle. Now, we also know that Keanu Reeves has one of the best brands in Hollywood. Not as an expensive brand, but a brand where everybody likes him because he is a good person. So when you see this, let me just see all the comments here. Now, this is not a negative or positive post, but this is basically saying that Keanu Reeves is aging, right? But let me share with you the comments here, right? You see this comment here, the first one? Well, we all go gray at some point. It's called aging, and I'm sure he noticed this when he looks in a mirror. People are supporting that. Hey, it is okay to look rugged because he's aging. Rena Waller says, awesome, Keanu, keep it real. My son Jaden always tells me that keep it real, mom. Susan Goodell says, it makes him look distinguished and still so handsome. We will love that. Let's see more comments, right? Let's see more comments here. Christy Lee, man, I love this guy. It sounds weird when I say this because I'm a guy, right? It's so weird when I'm reading this. Love that he embraces age rather than shaving it off or dying in black. Such a great actor of what I've seen is a great humanitarian too, right? Saw him in a subway train in New York, so humble, a great guy. Then you see there's more comments, right? Looks great, he's one handsome guy. You know, all the comments are all positive. Now just change it. If you, let's say you use other picture that comes out, right? Let's say this is about Tom Cruise. Now I'm not against Tom Cruise, but I'm telling you that you will not see 100% positive comments anymore. So do you see that if you have a great brand, just for the sake of entertainment, right? You will remove all trolls away. You see that? And in terms of business, it's going to do so much advantage for you. Like for instance, when we do this summit here, right? When we do summit, we run Facebook ads. But you can see here, we have no trolls. Amazing, right? I'm saying this because I'm proud of it, not because I'm showing off. I want you to understand there's a difference of showing off and being proud of doing the right thing, right? And of course, I'm showing this because it's a lesson that I want to teach to you. So you can see here, like this ad here, we only have two comments. One of the comment is, of course, my own comment where I put the link to the summit, and the other one is just another post. Let's see another ad that we run, right, for the summit. You've probably seen this, right? Did you all see these ads? I run these ads to get you into this summit, right? Okay. So this is another ad. As you can see, there's no trolls. And there's only one comment. And guess whose comment is that? That's my own comment because I put a link to the page. And let's see more. Every single of our ads for the entire summit, get this, right, have 0 trolls. Yeah, see this one here. All right, so we have one comment. The one comment is, of course, it's my own comment. And this one here, as you can see, we have 5 comments. Let's see all the 5 comments, okay? So the first one, of course, is my own comment. And then we have one person who says, Kelvin Low. Don't know who you are. It's not negative, but it's not positive either. But get this, because we build our brand, there's another person, his name is Rash, who is Kyrish, actually responded on behalf of us and say that, hey, he's the real deal. Rash or Kyrish is our ultimatum client. Our ultimatum program is our private mentoring client program. If you want, you can apply. It's not open to everybody. It's only by application, right? That is how valuable is having a brand. No trolls. But let me just say this way, right? Let's just do a real reality check. Is it fair for me to say most of the ads that teach about internet marketing or building businesses and so on have trolls every time? Some of the time that every single comments are all trolls. Is that correct? And on top of that, not just trolls, but real people who are just, correct my language, but just pissed off with the ads and they just write negative stuff. Is it true for me to say that? Right? So if you don't believe it, you can just go through your ads and then you'll see exactly what I mean. Some people's ads gets a lot of negative comments because it's just not the right people for that. It's not their fault, it's because they don't build the brand properly in that sense, right? So that is something that I wanted to share with you about brand. Let me just see what is the next slide that I have. So when it comes to brand, I want you to understand this concept here. Building a brand is being strategic. Trying to improve conversion is being tactical. So the difference of strategic and tactical, the easiest way to explain is basically the concept of playing chess, right? You play chess so that you can win the game. You got to have a strategy to win the game. But you need tactics on how to move your pieces. So they all go hand in hand. However, if you're very tactical but you don't have a strategy, it doesn't work. You got to have a strategy first before you can be tactical. When you focus your time to build your brand, it is about you being strategic for long term to win the game of chess. when you are being tactical, like moving the pieces and so on, you may not win the game. You may able to take a piece, right? You may check your opponent, but you're not playing to win the game. So if you have a strategy, all the tactics will become more powerful. It will enhance upon your entire strategy, but you start with being strategic. And being strategic, it's about building your brand.